Oh, Maggie's a law unto herself.
Is she?
Yeah, Maggie used to give Kathleen a lift. But Kathleen's no longer fit to get up on the back of the tractor, so I took over the chore.
In our view now, you'd have to be pretty rich to buy something like this. You know, it's just superb.
I just think when you see these DIY programmes on telly and these houses look absolutely fantastic, I say yes, but you look out of their windows and they just can't buy what we've got here, you know.
No.
It's just incredible.
We'd only been here a few months. I was just standing there looking at the seals and the tide was out. All of a sudden, this little water had come past. I stood there for an hour just watching it, you know. Again, it's something you can't put a price on.
Have you ever felt like getting out at times?
Oh yeah. Especially on a Sunday, you know, you can quite often find me at the new pier, sitting there looking onto the horizon, and there's no escape. There literally is no escape. There's no boats due until Tuesday. There's no plane due on a Sunday at all, you know, and you know, people will come up and put their arm on my shoulder. Come on, Nick, you know, you'll get over it. Yes, there are times when I feel like I'm cut off, and you could be anywhere really, you know, a long way from civilization.
Up on North Hill, black-backed gulls are competing for the fledgling chicks they've torn from the nests on the cliffs, or raided from Pape's huge colony of Arctic terns. Out on the water, the terns are fishing for sand eels. Jim Davison, the island's builder, has been watching for them since he was a boy.
3 weeks they'll leave us here and they'll fly, probably doing as far as Antarctica, which is 11,000 miles. And next year on the 7th day of May, or pretty close to that, they'll be back. The same field, same nest. No navigation except the sun. That'll do nicely.
Large pollock, is that?
Yes, that's... You reckon with that fish?
It's Saturday afternoon, and everyone in Papa Westray's buoyant 6-member fishing club is hoping it's going to be their day. All eyes are on each other, and if everyone's to be believed, no one's having any luck at all.
If you wanted anything from Papa Westray in the future, what would it be, Jim?
For Papa Westray, leave it the way it is. If anybody didn't like it, he would leave it. There's a magic press. Well, no magic press, but it's got just peace, wildlife, all the rest of it. I mean, why change it? There's very few places in the world left like it. And the only thing I would change right now is that boat catch less fish, you can.
Getting serious now, Jim, I think.
Getting serious? It's almost serious. That's slightly premature celebrations there, I think.
By the end of the day, they've caught enough bait to supply the island's crab boat for a week. But some have been luckier than others.
I think we're playing rugby next weekend.
Has Jim got the biggest fish?
Yeah. 312 for Jim.
Biggest fish was Jim.
Don't forget that.
JD.
What's that, mate?
Second biggest fish was Stuart. Third biggest was Rob. Fourth biggest Nick. And last was JR.
Nick's come way down the field, but it's a good haul for him. He's got 5 children to feed.
Mackerel curry, mackerel on toast, mackerel stew, mackerel batter.
I think there's several large glasses of rum.
What way are you going to do the point? How do you do the points on this?
I'll do it when I go home. Because it'll need to be added onto last week's as well, you know. That's for the shop. I've just put them into the shop and they can, anybody that wants them can help themselves, you know. We usually do that, you know. For an island, nobody goes fishing, you know. They don't. They go and buy fresh fish from elsewhere. They won't go out and get it themselves.
A very, very strong sense of community. I mean, that's what makes Poppy what it is. Whenever we came here, what, 14 and a half years ago, the majority of the islanders were actually Poppy born and bred. Now the majority of them aren't. But it has still managed to retain the sense of community, which is, well, what to my mind makes it unique.
Oh, absolutely.
Where was he from? Ipswich. Yeah. Down south. And
how long have you been here?
30 months and 5 days. And 9 hours.
When Pape's summer night twilight draws in, Jim, the writer, takes time to reflect.
Even for Scots, this is such a different place. So different from what most people experience in their day-to-day life. There's more calm here than I've experienced anywhere else I've been travelled. You know, the timelessness is an easy word to fling about, but you can feel it here. Like sort of half an hour passes. People say that when you're on a computer, you lose sense of time. Well, you can have a different, more natural experience here, which is very similar. You know, you can go down to the loch down there, and you can think you've been standing for 5 minutes looking at the water and the swans and the old chapel across the way, and you can have been there for an hour or an hour and a half. And I don't know how you can explain that.
This is the place to bring up a child, really. It gives them a chance. I mean, I'm sure if you spoke to somebody in the cities, you know, well, your kids are not streetwise. Good, you know, that's all I can say. Exactly. Your children grow up here expecting honesty and respect, which is nice.
That's what was better as well.
Yeah, I think so.
We brought children with us, and we've had children here, so we're sticking down some roots. We've got Orcadians in our family already. They do say that you have to be up here so many generations, but Billy and Rona has, as far as we're concerned, have put our roots down here, haven't they?
3 of Nick and Jan's children go to Pape's tiny school. Its roll of just 7 children means its fate and the future of its teacher is dependent on new generations remaining here.
I think what they tried to do originally, that the few younger parents that were here, were to try have children at a similar time, so that they got playmates basically and could come to school together. I mean, it made sense. But it will get to a point, unless you're getting young families coming onto the isle who want to have a lot of children, then the time will come when there'll be no school, no children.
Do you think that?
I think it's a possibility. Although it looks as if it's thriving at the moment, you've got to look to others coming in who are going to look to have families, in 3 or 4 years' time. And that means employment. You need employment here.
For now, Pape has the new young lifeblood it needs to survive. But can it hold on to newcomers who are constantly at the mercy of much wider economic forces?
So when do you think you'll be finished?
Yes.
Yeah.
If I told you, you wouldn't believe me. Because I don't know the answer to that. No idea. Be very soon.
It's actually Jim's last day on site. Phil's been forced to delay the building work because of financial pressures.
So how's the internet business going, generally?
Well, generally, yeah, .com difficulties, I suppose. It has not been easy the last few months, and I'd hoped that we'd have things properly finished by October. But it rather depends if we can afford to put windows in, so we'll see. It's tough getting the bank to give us money, and that's the main struggle at the moment. So maybe by the time they see this, we'll have got some money from them.
The hope is that Phil's business will work and that the family can stay. But ultimately, can Pape's landscape sustain any of the newcomers for very long? After all, you can't eat the view.
I'd like to stay while they're growing up. I mean, I could be quite happy here permanently, but maybe we'll move when, when they've had the best chunk of it, just see what happens.
A lot of people, when we left Ipswich, called us brave, which I found was a very strange term. People saying, "Oh, you're very brave to do that." I think they're the brave ones staying there, to be honest. And I've probably said it before, but I do regret that a lot of people who we've left behind have never seen this and probably never will experience it. I mean, we're only 3 years in. I reckon that'd be 10 years before I'm as laid back as an Orcadian, so I've got a long way. God knows what I'll be like in 10 years' time.
Who stays and who goes aside, the landscape of Papa Westray will endure. And just as Neolithic man found it 5,000 years ago, others will come in the future, seeking its otherness, apartness, tranquility, and peace. Next week, this land visits the Mountains of Mourne in Northern Ireland, whose otherness is reflected in its people's sense of being set apart.
To the manor born, and guaranteed blooms for next year.
It's a complete distortion.